In the face of climate change, protecting our forests has never been more urgent. Today, we take you to an ecotourism camping site in Antipolo City where forest conservation, community, and purpose come together. Levin Landingin, conservation lead of Gabriel Sanctuary, shares their journey in protecting the environment while offering a campsite for those who want to de-stress and escape the hustle and bustle of the city life with the beauty of nature. I'm Rochelle Rubio, and this is The Advocates, Empowering Voices. Stronger storms, rising waters, uncertain seasons. These are no longer distant warnings, but realities many Filipino communities now face. The Philippines remains among the most climate vulnerable countries in the world, with warmer seas contributing to more intense tropical cyclones. These storms bring heavier rains, severe flooding, and landslides that threaten lives and livelihoods. In Luzon, the Sierra Madre mountain range plays a crucial role in reducing the impact of incoming typhoons. But as forests continue to decline, this natural line of defense is increasingly at risk. Today, we take you to Gabriel Sanctuary, where protecting nature is a stand against climate change. Their conservation lead, Levin Landingin, shares their inspiring story of advocacy and purpose.
Gabriel Sanctuary was founded on July of 2019, just before the pandemic. So when the pandemic hit, we were very active in on our areas of focus, such as environment. So we wanted to reforest the part of Upper Marikina watershed. So Upper Marikina watershed is a specific area in the Sierra Madre mountain range. Next is we wanted to partner with the locals so as to sustain our reforestation projects. So yung mga locals before na naabutan namin na ang kabuhayan po nila is yung pagkakaingin and yung paggagawa po ng uling or yung charcoal making is very destructive to the environment. So we analyzed the scenario and we wanted to partner with them so that yung mga projects po namin na reforest, they're gonna be the ones to maintain it. So that brings us to the second area of focus, which is sustainable livelihood po. So all of our staff is 100% from the local community of Sitio Binayor in Barangay Calaviz in Antipolo City, Rizal. So that's our two main core advocacies, and our main goal or our vision rather, by 2030 is to plant 30,000 Philippine native trees.
What inspired the creation of Gabriel Sanctuary, and how did it evolve from a simple farm into an ecotourism destination?
Gabriel Sanctuary kasi before was just a place of relaxation for our family, no? So, of course, when the pandemic hit, lahat naman tayo parang very bored sa bahay. We didn't know what to do kasi we didn't know how to handle things like that kasi it's a first for everyone or for the whole world, di ba? Gabriel Sanctuary was initially just a rest house for our family, just a personal rest house. So we went there nung pandemic just to relax, and we admired the scenery. Sobrang ganda po kasi nung area, and it features the 180-degree view of the Sierra Madre mountain range. And in the morning, you can see yung sea of clouds natin. And we wanted to share that beautiful environment to every people, especially po yung mga nakatira sa Metro Manila, because right now, alam naman po natin if nakatira po kayo sa Metro Manila. I myself also stayed in QC for a while. Pero ngayon nandito po ako sa Antipolo. Pero nung nasa area po ako ng QC, sobrang dami ng pollution, sobrang maingay, it's very populated, it's highly urbanized, especially in Pasig areas, Mandaluyong, and other areas of Metro Manila. So we wanted to share that little slice of paradise, that a provincial life version. Pero hindi siya kalayuan kasi Antipolo is known for being a quick escape for the people of Metro Manila. Hindi lang po namin fini-feature yung pinaka-area po namin. We are also featuring the nature trails, what the environment has to offer. There's waterfalls, there's river, there are forest trails in the area in the adjacent part of the sanctuary. So we also highlight that part of for tourism.
Last February 15, members of Gabriel Sanctuary planted 100 mangrove trees in the coastal wetlands of Sasmuan, Pampanga, recognized as the Philippines' 8th Ramsar site, a biologically rich area that requires strict conservation. Data from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources show that more than half of the Philippines' original mangrove cover has been lost over the past century, largely due to coastal development. Climate.gov.ph also underscores the critical role of mangroves in protecting communities from storm surges and coastal erosion.
Our area of expertise po is upland tree planting. So we've started yung conservation part of the Gabriel Sanctuary in 2021. Noong 2019 up to 2020, that was just the development phase for the ecotourism. But in 2021, nag-start na po kami na mag-conserve po talaga ng area because we wanted to be sustainable when it comes to ecotourism. And yung area of expertise nga po namin is planting trees in the mountains. But recently, we've had quite an interest for planting mangrove trees, which are a part of the coastal areas near Metro Manila or other areas of Luzon. So, nabighani din po kasi ako or kami, the group rather, doon sa beauty of conserving our mangrove ecosystem. So, we wanted to highlight na hindi lang po itong mga mountain areas po natin or hindi lang po itong mga watershed areas natin ang importante, but rather we have to view it as a collectively, diba? So we also wanted to learn more about the mangrove trees. So we went in Sasmuan, Pampanga in partnership with the Sasmuan LGU and the DNR of LGU. So they taught us how mangrove trees thrive in coastal areas and how these mangrove trees protect the coastal community. Kasi ito po yung nagiging protection ng mga coastal communities natin when it comes doon po sa may mga bagyo. So parang first line of defense nila. And more importantly, ang mga coastal areas po natin na may mga mangroves are rich in thriving ecosystem ng mga birds po. So sobrang dami pong mga ibon doon sa area kapag marami pong mangrove.
Gabriel Sanctuary is composed of 20 individuals driven by a shared commitment to environmental protection and conservation.
Our team right now is around approximately 20. So, ang amin po kasing team is composed of the locals in the community. So, we train them kasi most of them are hindi po sila nakapag-formal education eh. So, hindi po sila nakatungtong ng college level. So, we wanted to give them an equal opportunity just like us, di ba? So, tinrain po namin sila how to handle people, how to connect with people, how to take care of the environment. So meron po tayo mga iba't ibang teams na in-split for Gabriel Sanctuary. So there's the ecotourism part, there's the conservation part, there's the events part. So lahat po yon interconnected para po makapagbuo kami or makapag-create po kami ng wonderful experience for all of the visitors visiting us in Gabriel Sanctuary.
Actress Maris Racal marked her birthday by planting 333 native trees at Gabriel Sanctuary. How did this collaboration come about and what impact did it have on their advocacy?
I think it was around August or September of last year lang. And Maris Racal celebrated yung birthday niya at Gabriel Sanctuary because she wanted to have a different celebration naman, di ba? So, nag-reach out po actually ang fans club po ni Maris Racal. So, nakipag-coordinate po kami sa fans club ni Maris Racal para po makapag-celebrate si Maris Racal nun. So, 333 Philippine native trees po yung naitanim po natin. The impact is very big kasi 330, imagine 333 native trees. And in partnership with Gabriel Sanctuary, uh, ang survival rate po ng ating seedlings with human intervention, with the right planting techniques is about 60%. But in the wild, if wala pong partnership with an NGO, without a partnership with an LGU or community, in the wild, ang seedlings po natin ay mabubuhay lamang po ng 10 to 20%. So it's very important, and we wanted to highlight yung partnership ni Marisa Cal with Gabriel Sanctuary because it boosted po yung advocacy po natin sa planting Philippine native trees. Dito po mismo sa Antipolo area po, sa Gabriel Sanctuary po mismo. So, si Gabriel Sanctuary po kasi meron po kaming area doon na which is what we call Gabriel Sanctuary Arboretum. So, Arboretum for our viewers and for our listeners is a place of sanctuary for our Philippine native trees. So, it's all about Philippine native trees there. So, we don't introduce po yung mga exotic or invasive species. So, very maingat po kami kung ano po yung right seedlings po na itatanim natin and kung paano po natin ito aalagaan.
Gabriel Sanctuary partners with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources under the National Greening Program, where the DENR provides training on proper seedling propagation and planting.
DNR provides us po yung training for how to plant yung mga seedlings po natin through the National Greening Program. So National Greening Program of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources was launched to connect with partners with such as po yung mga nasa private sector po natin upang mapaboost po yung advocacy po ng ating government na ma-reforest po yung ating mga native landscapes or natural landscape po dito sa Philippines, because right now ang ating forest cover po sa buong Pilipinas, statistically speaking, is only about 22% na lang po sa buong Pilipinas. So luckily with our partnership with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, sila po yung nakakapag-provide sa amin ng knowledge. So sila po yung nagtuturo sa amin ng right planting techniques, and of course po kumukuha din po kami ng mga seedlings sa kanila para po, kasi since may nursery po sila dito sa area namin, so sila po yung nagpapatubo ng seedlings and kami naman po yung nagtatanim with our partners, and sa amin na po yung maintenance.
How do they ensure that tourism activities remain environmentally responsible and do not harm nature?
Very important po siya ngayon, no? Kasi there are a lot of ecotourism areas in the Philippines. So, sobrang dami po yan. And one of which, the effects of ecotourism is yung pagkasira po ng ating environment. Kung hindi po natin napapangalagaan ng maayos yung ating environmental plan management. So, kailangan po lahat po ng uh, tours sa mga ecotourism area, kailangan po meron po tayong plano kung paano po natin i-handle. And of course, Gabriel Sanctuary has a responsibility or a civic responsibility na kailangan po natin i-maintain upang hindi po masira ang ating natural landscape sa Upper Marikina Watershed. So we have implemented our rules and regulations for all our visitors. One of which po is we do not allow any disposable or non-biodegradable garbage to be brought in the sanctuary. So, bawal po yung mga plastics, bawal po yung mga plastic bottle, lahat po ng hindi nabubulok, we do not allow that. So, we advocate po na magdala po sila ng mga reusable such as tumblers para po makaiwas po tayo sa mga basura na makakalat, na posible pong may kalat po nila doon sa trails natin. And of course, alam naman po natin na kapag nasa mountain area po tayo, nasa malalayong lugar po tayo, sa mga rural areas, mahirap po yung waste management system. So we made sure of that, na very strict po kami. We educate all our guests bago po sila tumuntong sa sanctuary. So there's an orientation, ano po yung mga rules and regulations. And another thing is that hindi po pwedeng magdala ng Bluetooth speakers, mga video bawal po yung sumigaw, bawal po yung maingay because we do not want to disturb any wildlife. So, very important din po yun, lalo na po kung ang area na pupuntahan po natin is rich in biodiversity. So, if marami pong species ng animals and plants na nandoon, we cannot disturb them. So, we cannot put them at risk. So, very minimal po yung impact na ginagawa po ng ecotourism part of the Gabriel Sanctuary. And one last thing po, ang lahat po ng construction materials na ginagamit po ng Gabriel Sanctuary sa area to build the kubos, to build the facilities are only lightweight materials. So more on bamboos po yung mga ginagamit namin, more on mga woods. So yun lamang po upang hindi po tayo makadisturb sa natural geography po ng area.
Guests at Gabriel's Sanctuary are given a briefing to ensure that they are properly guided on environmental conservation practices before taking part in tree planting activities or in touring the sanctuary.
I also do take part po sa orientation po ng ating mga guests. So, ngayon po, ako po ang tumatayong conservation lead of Gabriel Sanctuary. I have the responsibility to oversee all the reforestation and conservation programs of Gabriel Sanctuary. And one of those responsibilities is for me to orient po yung ating mga guests. Tinuturuan po natin sila ng tamang mga gawain at mga tamang mga patakaran po kapag pumupunta po sila sa mga ating mga protected areas and kung paano po magtanim ng ating mga puno sa tamang lokasyon, sa tamang panahon, sa mga tamang factors po ng ating environment. So, meron din po ako mga kasama sa aking team na katulong ko po na makapag-briefing po sa ating mga guests. Ang visitors po natin usually for environmental programs or environmental visits such as po yung mga corporate social responsibility ng mga kumpanya or mag-visit po yung mga schools or yung mga NGOs is only around twice a week. Meron naman din po ako mga kasama po sa team po namin na nagbi-briefing din po. So, lahat naman po ng mga locals doon na train po namin kung paano po makapag-inform at makapag-spread ng awareness sa ating mga bisita bago po sila pumunta.
Levin says part of their advocacy is raising awareness among guests, not only about the current state of the environment and proper tree planting, but also about past mistakes, including the use of invasive species.
Yung spreading awareness po and yung kapag binigay po natin, na-observe po namin ito sa aming conservation work, kapag nakita po ng mga tao ang importansya ng isang bagay, mas pahahalagahan po nila. Most of the time, I think around 90% of the time, kaya ang mga tao or tayong mga Pilipino, hindi po tayo well-informed sa mga bagay. Kung ano pong epekto ng mga ginagawa po natin. Kahit maliliit na bagay, sobrang laki po ng epekto. Hindi po natin alam, kaya po natin ginagawa. So, ngayon po, ang aming pong advokasya sa Gabriel Sanctuary is yung pag-inform po ng ating mga bisita at pag-spread ng awareness kung gaano po talaga ka-importante at ano pong totoong nangyayari sa ating kalikasan. So there's also a part po kasi sa aming nature trail na pinapakita po namin yung maling way of tree planting. So there's also a part there. So another area po siya na full of mahogany trees. If hindi nyo po alam, ang mahogany tree po is invasive species. Exotic po siya. Before po kasi si DNR, reforestation area po nila yon and hindi din po informed actually. DNR na po mismo, hindi sila informed na mali pong itanim si mahogany. So ang nangyari po, halos buong bansa ang pinatanim po nila is mahogany tree. And ang effect po noon, wala pong nabubuhay na kahit anong other species aside from mahogany. So nagiging monoculture na po yung area and that's bad for our biodiversity kasi meron nagiging dominant species. So nadi-disrupt po basically yung ecosystem natin. That part is converted na po into timber production. So, ginagawa po siyang for furniture. Mahirap na pong i-reverse ang effects once mataniman na po ng mahogany. Ang magiging epekto po nun sa soil is magiging acidic po. Full of toxins na po kasi yung soil once mataniman po ng mahogany. So, kahit mga 2-3 years from now, magtanim po tayo doon useless. So, hindi po mabubuhay kahit anong type of seedlings doon dahil nataniman na po siya ng mahogany. So it's very important din no na pinapaalam din po namin sa aming mga bisita na hindi lang po tayo basta-basta magti-tree planting, hindi lang po tayo pupunta sa mga kabundukan natin tapos iiwan po natin, wala pong magme-maintain. At yung tama po kasing species na itatanim is kung ano po yung nakatanim dun sa area, yun lang po yung pwede nating itanim. So hindi po tayo pwede mag-introduce ng mga exotic or foreign species dahil madi-disrupt po kung ano yung existing ecosystem na.
Despite his knowledge in this field, Levin emphasizes that he remains a student of the environment, along with his colleagues at Gabriel Sanctuary.
Actually, I do not claim to be an expert. I'm also a student of the environment. So, lahat po kami sa Gabriel Sanctuary, estudyante po ng ating environment. So, lahat naman po kasi ng nalalaman po natin is through the years of experience sa conservation work. Actually po, ako po ay by profession is healthcare po. So, sobrang layo po, no? Na kahit yung mga tao, pag sinasabi nila ano pong college degree ko, hindi po related sa forestry or agroforestry or sa tourism, hindi po. So, ako po ay by profession is healthcare sector po. Naging passion ko lang po, passion project ko po yung Gabriel Sanctuary. So, inaral po siya. So, umattend po ako ng mga workshops, umattend po ako ng mga seminars para po malaman ko po itong mga bagay na to. Actually, and kapag mahilig din po kasi ako sa mountain. So, nag-hiking po ako sa mga bundok and nag-attend po ako ng mga basic mountaineering course. So, lahat po yun na-pass down lang din po sa akin ng aking mga mentors. So, I do not claim to be an expert at all. And kapag exposed ka na po kasi sa natural environment, marami ka po talagang matututunan, lalo na sa local community which have been living there for years. Lalo na po yung mga nasa tribes po ng Rizal area. So I have exposed myself especially with yung mga Dumagat tribes po natin sa Rizal. So they have the knowledge po talaga kung paano po nag-work yung environment kasi they have been there. Yun po yung talagang natural na habitat po nila or natural na tahanan po nila. So alam po nila yung mga pasikot-sikot sa ating kalikasan. Yun lamang po, meron po sila mga destructive practices na ginagawa kagaya po ng mga nabanggit ko kanina na kaingin. So we also have to work with them. So natututo po tayo sa kanila kung paano po nag-work yung day-to-day life nila coexisting with the environment. And natututo rin po sila sa atin on healthier ways to have their livelihood conducted in protected areas.
Levin proudly shares the transformation of the women of Gabriel Sanctuary, whom they call the silent guardians of the environment. They once practiced kaingin, a traditional slash-and-burn farming method that involves clearing forest land for cultivation, often contributing to deforestation and soil degradation when done unsustainably. Today, these women have become stewards of conservation, helping protect and restore the very ecosystems they rely on. The men in the community have also taken on roles within the sanctuary, supporting its growing operations. Through these efforts, families are not only becoming environmental advocates, but are also gaining sustainable livelihoods and a renewed sense of purpose.
More than 60% po ng mga employees po natin ay kababaihan. So sila po talaga ang aming kasanggala pagdating po sa conservation work dito sa Gabriel Sanctuary. So yung mga furniture po namin, kagaya po ng kanina, sila po yung mga nagpuputol ng puno upang gawin po itong mga charcoal. So since nga tinanong po namin sila, nag-conduct po kami ng community assessment before, back in 2019, doon sa Antipolo area po. Bakit po ganito yung kabuhayan nila? So, ang sagot po nila sa amin, dahil wala nga daw pong ibang kabuhayan. So, it makes sense naman talaga, no, na kung ano lang po yung natural resources nila sa area, yun lang po yung gagamitin nila upang to make ends meet, di ba? So, sila po, na-convert po natin from killers of the forest, kumbaga, to environmental defenders. So it's a very 360-degree story na mga dating nagpuputol po ng puno, mga dating nagkakaingin. Ngayon po, katuwang na po natin sila sa ating conservation work. So tinigil na po nila 100% completely dun po, I can say confidently sa community po natin, sa Gabriel Sanctuary, within the local vicinity, wala na pong nagpuputol ng puno. Meron din po kasi dun before, mga Dumagat tribes din po na nagpuputol ng puno for the conversion of furniture. So, yung mga puno po puputulin nila upang gawing mga upuan, mga table, which is also illegal din po dahil meron po tayong mga batas na nagsi-safeguard for illegal uh, cutting down of trees. So, sila din po, naging katuwang din po natin sa Gabriel Sanctuary. Yung mga kalalakihan, sila naman po yung ating mga maintenance ng ating area po. Lalo-lalo na po yung maintenance po ng mga seedlings na itanim. Kasi very important po yung ma-maintain po natin yung fertilization, yung watering of the seedlings. So, yung mga kalalakihan naman po natin, sila naman po yung responsible for that. So, wala na po talagang sa aming community na nagpuputol ng puno. Lahat po nagtatanim na ng puno dahil yun na po ang nakita nila ngayong kabuhayan.
Levin is the youngest among the team of tour guides and personnel involved in the forest conservation efforts of Gabriel Sanctuary, where the group's diversity enriches learning and collaboration.
Ako po yung pinakabata. So, karamihan po sa kanila may families na around 40 to 50 years old na po yung demographics ng ating mga tour guides and yung mga staff po natin in the conservation work. Just like I've said din po before, it goes both ways din naman. I teach them more sustainable ways of their livelihood, and they teach me more of their ways of coexisting with the environment.
Levin shares the story of Ata Jovi, whose life was transformed through Gabriel Sanctuary. Stories like hers continue to fuel his commitment to the advocacy.
One of them po na na-feature namin is Ate Jovi. So, si Ate Jovi po, nung pumunta kami, ganun din po yung kabuhayan niya. Nagpuputol ng puno, ginagawa po yung kaingin, naggagawa po ng charcoal or yung uling. So, nung na-employ po namin sila, tinigil po nila yon. And dati po, yun lang po talaga yung kabuhayan nila. Nung na-employ na po namin sila, ngayon po meron na po silang tindahan, meron na po silang sari-sari store sa kanilang bahay. And nakapagpatayo na rin po sila actually ng second floor. Yung dating kawayan po na bahay nila, ngayon sementado na. So very proud po kami na nakikita po namin yung talagang pagbabago po sa buhay ng ating mga local community sa Antipolo. And hindi nga po namin subok akalain na yung isang passion project lang po namin or yung gusto lang po namin maibahagi sa mga tao yung kahalagahan and yung beauty of the environment na meron po tayong mga buhay na mababago at na makikita po natin no. So yung bahay po nila maganda na po ngayon, sementado na, may second floor na, meron na po silang sari-sari store. So talagang nakita namin po yung pagbabago sa buhay nila. Ako po personally, I do not believe that I can change the world but I can change yung mundo pong ginagalawan ko sa Antipolo City. So yan lamang po yung aking goal. Yan lang po yung main goal ko, no? So yung aking world na ginagalawan po dito po sa aking community, kahit makapagpabago lang po ako ng buhay, kahit kakaunti, makapag-spread po ako ng awareness sa mga tao, lalo-lalo na po sa mga kabataan, masayang-masaya na po ako na nakikita ko po yun.
Levin underscores the role of watersheds in sustaining water supply, preserving ecological balance, and mitigating flood risks in communities.
Yung watershed area po natin, para po sa mga nakikinig at sa mga viewers, is from the word itself, watershed, are water reservoir. Kaya nga po, nagtatayo po tayo ng mga dam sa mga watersheds because rich po sa water resources. And statistically speaking, mas mataas po ang percentage of rain or yung rainfall sa mga mountainous area po natin. So mas madalas po silang inuulan. Kaya po doon nagtatayo ng mga dam. And then, watersheds are important for our rivers and yung mga bodies of water po natin sa Metro Manila. So karamihan po ng tubig na nag-flow down to the Marikina River, the Pasig River, nanggagaling po lahat yan sa kabundukan po ng Rizal. So we can see the importance na kapag pinatay po natin ang watershed or kapag wala pong enough trees sa Upper Marikina watershed specifically, which is adjacent to the areas of Metro Manila such as Marikina and Pasig, papatayin po natin yung drinking water. Papatayin po natin yung ating mga ilog at yung ating mga katubigan sa Metro Manila. So, speaking for experience din po na kapag nagde-tree planting po tayo sa mga areas, mahalaga po na alamin po talaga natin. Lalong-lalo na po, mas importante po na makapagtanim po tayo sa mga watershed areas which are critical for the sustenance of Metro Manila. Kasi ang nagbe-benefit naman po kapag nagtatanim tayo ng mga puno sa Upper Marikina watershed, hindi naman po kami. Hindi naman po yung mga taga-Antipolo or hindi naman po yung mga taga-community. Ang magbe-benefit mo po noon greatly are the people of Metro Manila. Tayo pong nandito sa lowlands. Because kapag marami po tayong tinanim na puno, around 27 to 47% po ang mababawas na pagbaha sa Metro Manila according to a study. So, ganun po. Halos-halos kalahati po yung stormwater runoff since mas mataas po geographically speaking yung ating Rizal area. So, the tendency being kapag umulan sa Rizal, lahat ng tubig babagsak po sa Metro Manila. That's why binabaha po yung Marikina. So, importante po na very thriving po yung ating forest area sa Upper Marikina watershed upang mabawasan po natin ng greatly yung ating mga pagbaha or yung mga bumubulusok po na tubig pababa sa Marikina. Ngayon po kasi sa Sierra Madre Mountain Range, kakaunti na lang po yung forest cover na natitira. Dahil po ito sa unang-una urbanization. So, kailangan pong putulin ang ating mga puno upang ma-convert sa mga kabahayan. Pangalawa po is yung mining. So, since rich in natural resources po talaga ang ating mga kabundukan, doon po sila nagko-conduct ng mga mining explorations. Pangatlo po is yung quarrying. So, kumukuha po sila ng mga natural resources, mga mahalagang bato and minerals for everyday use po nating lahat. So, it's very contradicting, no? Yung we have to sacrifice our natural resources and the environment for pushing po yung globalization or yung urbanization to sustain the needs of the people. So very contradicting po talaga na meron bang safe practice na upang makapag-develop tayo, kagaya ng ibang bansa na hindi po natin nasasaktan yung ating mga forest cover. And personally, I do not believe that there is a safe way of mining po, no? Wala po talagang para po sa akin na hindi po talaga safe for the environment yung mining kasi hindi na po reversible yung effects ng mining. So, kapag matapos na po yung isang mining project, iiwan na po nila. Uh, Very toxic na po yung lupa, very degraded na po yung environment, mahirap na pong tamnan po ulit ng mga puno. So hindi na po natin talaga may babalik yung dating ganda ng isang area na iniwan po ng mining corporations.
Gabriel Sanctuary's impact goes beyond Antipolo, employing locals as environmental defenders, providing both livelihood and a shared role in protecting the environment.
We call them environmental defenders or sometimes mga forest rangers po natin. So, yung mga locals po natin are employed with us sa conservation work po natin. Dahil nga po ang ating advokasya din po is makatulong sa kanila. Besides po doon sa ma-reforest po natin yung Upper Marikina watershed. Although we also have volunteer programs at Gabriel Sanctuary which comes naman po from outsiders. Ito po yung mga dati naming mga naging visitors na naging interesado din po sila sa conservation na ginagawa po namin. So, nag-volunteer po sila. Meron po tayong mga interns and volunteers na tumutulong po sa atin. At karamihan po ng ito, mga taga-labas na po, mga taga-Metro Manila. And lahat po sila mga kabataan din po.
Part of the ecotourism advocacy of Gabriel Sanctuary is Camping for a Cause, which enables their team to give back to the local indigenous community residing in the mountains of Sierra Madre.
Camping for a Cause naman po is yung part of the ecotourism advocacy of Gabriel Sanctuary. So, 20% po kasi of the profit for our ecotourism sector is directly napupunta po sa community fund. So, ito po yung 20% ginagamit namin for projects such as yung solar lighting programs po natin sa community since hindi pa po sila abot ng Meralco. Meron din po tayong educational programs, nagbibigay po tayo ng school supplies sa adopted school po natin dun sa area po na yun. So, kaya nga po camping for a cause is because kapag nag-camp po or nagpunta po yung mga visitors natin, they're not just camping, they're not just having fun, but they're also helping our community. And we are making them aware of that na itong stay mo goes a long way, hindi lang po para sa'yo, para na rin po sa ating mga community doon sa Gabriel Sanctuary. We only cater to 30 packs maximum and we do not allow po yung walk-ins by reservation lang po to ensure na hindi po tayo lalagpas doon sa allowable maximum number of capacity.
At Gabriel Sanctuary, guests step away from the noise of the city to reconnect with each other and immerse themselves in nature.
That's the beautiful thing about it, no? Kasi nga mapupersa po talaga yung mga tao na makipag-bonding sa kasama nila. Kasi kung ma-observe naman po natin, kung nandito po tayo sa ating mga kabahayan, ang halos buong araw nakaharap po natin mga cellphones natin, mga laptop natin. Very sad thing, no? Na magkakalapit lang po tayo ng ating mga pamilya pero hindi po tayo nag-uusap-usap. Hindi po natin kilala talaga yung isa't isa. Pero kapag napupunta na po tayo dun sa mga situation na talagang kailangan natin mag-disconnect, kailangan po nating umiwas sa social media, sa internet, mas mabibigyan po tayo ng opportunity na makilala po ang isa't isa.
When it comes to balancing business sustainability with social responsibility, Levin shares this perspective.
Meron po tayong tinatawag na corporate social responsibility. So hindi po natin pwedeng kapabayaan po yung environment po natin at the expense of the business. So yung para sa akin po kasi and all of our uh, people behind our team, yung business po kasi is just a part to sustain yung conservation work po namin. Ang amin po talagang main advocacy is to reforest po talaga yung conservation area po natin. So hindi po namin kinakaligtaan ng aming main goal, mission and vision po to reforest po yung mga natitira po nating forest landscape. So si ecotourism po is just there to sustain the manpower, yung mga salary po ng mga tao natin, and yung pagpapaganda po sa area, and yung pagde-develop po ng more sustainable ways of planting trees.
They also run Classrooms Without Walls, a program that teaches children about trees and environmental stewardship through hands-on outdoor learning.
We have a program there in Gabriel Sanctuary po. We call it Classrooms Without Walls. So, bakit po siya Classrooms Without Walls? So, we believe po na ang ating pong environment, yung kalikasan po natin, is the best classroom that we can have. So, wala ka po sa silid-aralan, nasa actual life ka po, nasa groundwork po tayo talaga. So, we bring students in our nature trails and we feature po yung mga different kinds of flora and fauna. So, papakita po namin sa kanila, tuturuan po namin sa kanila kung paano mag-identify ng mga plant species. So, i-feature po natin doon yung mga Philippine native trees such as one of the highlights there is the Tipolo tree. So, Tipolo tree, dito po pinangalan kasi yung Antipolo City. So, it's very close to our heart. So, it's also a Philippine native tree. So, nagugulat nga po yung mga tao na yung Antipolo ay galing po or hinango po sa salitang Tipolo, which is a Philippine native tree din. So, ganon kalalim po yung binibigay na knowledge po sa aming mga visitors, lalong-lalo na po sa next generation, which is po yung mga kabataan na natin or yung mga estudyante. So, and we also get the results naman na nakita po natin na after the activity, mas pinapahalaga nila. So, yung mga dating dinadaan-daanan lang nila na puno, ngayon alam na po nila i-identify. Ngayon, nagpapapicture na sila sa mga puno, niyayakap na nila yung mga puno, nakikita po nila yung importance talaga ng trees.
What are the biggest challenges they face in sustaining both the environment and the organization?
One thing is yung urbanization po talaga. So, nagiging modern and modern na po kasi yung area po doon. In comparison nung pumunta kami back in 2019 na very rural pa yung area. Pero ngayon nagkakaroon na po ng mga developments and these developments uh, medyo detrimental din po sa ating environment. Ngayon nga po, meron pong ginagawa pong dam doon sa area. So, may pinaplano pong dam doon. Another thing is meron pong power plant station na ginagawa din po doon. Imagine at the top of the mountain, gumagawa po sila. And from our sources, it's a foreign company po. Yun po ang aming biggest challenge that we face because we fear na darating po ang time na meron pong mga bigger corporations, mga mas malalaking tao na mag-i-interest sa mga lugar na katulad po doon sa Gabriel Sanctuary at sana wag naman po na masayang po yung years of pagod na ginawa po namin, no? Blood, sweat, and tears ang binuhos namin to maintain the place, to reforest the area, no? So parang baby na po kasi namin si Gabriel Sanctuary. So that's how close it is to our heart. So yun po talaga yung biggest challenge, modernization and urbanization.
If he could influence national policy on environmental protection, what would he push for?
Ngayon po, meron po tayong coalition sa Upper Marikina Watershed. We call it the Upper Marikina Watershed Coalition. And I'm one of the core campaigners along with Living Laudato Si. Si Masungi Geo Reserve, member din po noon. Green Party of the Philippines. So those are NGOs and organizations, people who love doing the conservation work, no? And what we are pushing po right now is for the policies is mas paigtingin po yung mga polisiya natin for our protected areas. Kasi by law, ang protected areas po natin are non-alienable, non-disposable. So, hindi po ito pwedeng ariin ng kahit sinong individual nang walang pahintulot from the government, no? So, ito po ay pag-aari po ng Estado. Pero sa ngayon po, nababaluktot po ang ating mga batas. Meron pong mga natatayong mga illegal na istruktura ng walang pahintulot ng Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So, ang may recommend po namin from our coalition is the strengthening of our laws regarding our protected area. And another thing po, personally, ako naman po, sa experience po namin sa Gabriel Sanctuary, ang akin pong may papayo sa ating gobyerno kung pwede lamang po na maisali sa ating mga policies is yung ma-inculcate po yung knowledge of Philippine native trees sa ating mga eskwelahan. So wala po kasi tayo sa ngayon na nagbibigay impormasyon sa mga kabataan kung ano po yung importansya ng kalikasan. Kaya nga po hindi po nila alam kung ano yung mga katutubong puno po natin. Pero kapag tinanong mo sila kung ano yung mga character sa mga games, alam nila. Pero yung mismong mga katutubong puno natin na halos araw-araw ginagamit ng ating mga ancestors no. So through those Philippine native trees nag-survive po yung mga ancestors po natin using the environmental resources. And I think marami po tayong matututunan no from our tribes and our environment, the Philippine native trees, kung paano po tayo mas mabubuhay ng matiwasay, coexisting with environment and the people.
Levin goes back to the story behind the name Gabriel Sanctuary, revealing why the land holds a special place in their mission.
Gabriel is the deceased son po ng ating founder. So meron po silang baby na namatay pagka-born po, no? So as namesake, as a homage, uh, ginamit po nilang pangalan po yung Gabriel Sanctuary since uh, they believe nga po na yung baby and the forest is parang metaphor for one another, no? So it's like growing a baby, it's like growing the forest, and through planting trees, through growing the forest, we are living out yung kumbaga pinagpapatuloy po natin yung buhay ni Gabriel.
Gabriel Sanctuary has programs for those who wish to support their advocacy.
To support our advocacy, of course, I would recommend visiting us. See up close kung ano pong nangyayari sa ating kalikasan, kung ano po yung ginagawa ni Gabriel Sanctuary, no, sa ating mga Philippine native trees para po mas makapag-appreciate tayo ng mas malalim kung paano nga ba yung ginagawa natin doon. So, unang-una po yun. Ngayon, meron naman po kaming programa for the visitors who want to volunteer with us. So, yun po ay meron tayong mga roles na binibigay po sa mga volunteers po natin, such as yung mga partnership officers. So, sila po yung nag-reach out to other corporates and other NGOs para po makapag partnership tayo. So, it's very important po kasi na makipag-partner tayo sa mga corporations kasi uh, we have the passion, they have the money. So, yun po. So, it goes hand in hand eh. So, they contribute to our advocacy. They sponsor trees, they sponsor the growth of the trees, and we do the rest, 'di ba?
Levin shares how simple everyday actions can help Filipinos live more sustainably.
One thing is gasgas na, no? So is to conserve our natural resources na ngayon sa bahay natin, ano ba yung mga natural resources natin? Unang-una is yung tubig. So makita po natin, no? Lalo na ngayong parating na summer, mapapansin po natin na magkakaroon po, asahan po natin ng mga water disruptions or mga water rationing, no? This is to conserve yung ating water storage sa mga dams, no? So makita natin hindi po talaga unlimited lahat ng ating resources, no? So kailangan matalino po tayo sa paggamit at maalaga po tayo sa paggamit ng ating mga tubig. So practical application, much better kung hindi po tayo gagamit ng shower kasi litro-litro or basyo-basyong tubig po yung equivalent ton kapag gumagamit tayo ng shower in comparison to traditional na tabo and timba, 'di ba? So that's one if possible kung gusto mong mabuhay ng more sustainable. Pangalawa, very basic is bumili ka po or gumamit ka ng tumbler instead of purchasing yung mga water bottles natin sa labas, no? So wag po nating nakalimutan magdala po ng sarili po nating tumbler kahit saan. So ugaliin po natin yan mga Pilipino na meron po tayong bit-bit na tumbler. Magkanong investment lang naman yun, no? Nakakabili nga tayo ng Starbucks, nakakabili nga tayo ng mga coffee. So, much better, doon na lang po natin ipalagay yung mga coffee natin. Kung bibili po tayo ng mahilig tayo sa coffee, sa mga tea, sa mga juice, doon na po natin ipalagay. Nag-aalaw naman po yung mga stores ng ganun ako if meron kang dalang tumbler. And nagbibigay din sila actually ng discount if meron kang tumbler kasi hindi na po sila gagamit ng plastic. So that's one of the applications. And lastly, na in-apply din po namin dito sa sarili po naming bahay is to plant trees. So, if meron po tayong vacant lot near the house or if kayo po meron po kayong lupa na kahit kakaunti lamang, mas maganda po kung makapagtanim po tayo ng puno. This is to increase po yung carbon sequestration. So if mas marami pong puno, mas marami pong mag-absorb ng carbon dioxide and mas mapapansin po natin, mas presko po yung hangin sa bahay natin, mas lalamig and tayo rin po yung magiging hawaan nun.
Levin offers his perspective on climate change, outlines measures to protect forests, and encourages the public to visit Gabriel Sanctuary to appreciate nature firsthand.
Kapag hindi po natin alam yung isang bagay, hindi po natin pinapahalagan yung isang bagay, we tend to neglect it. Ngayon po, nagsa-surface na po si Sierra Madre, no, sa ating mga social media pages na kung gaano siya kaimportante kasi time and time again, habang tumatagal po yung panahon po natin, mas umiinit po, mas nagiging unpredictable po yung ating kalikasan. Imagine summer na pero malamig pa rin ngayon, mahangin pa rin. So, 'di ba? So that's how climate change works. And nagiging very unpredictable na yung ating kalikasan. And that's the scary thing about it. What I want every people to realize is yung paulit-ulit po naming sinasabi sa Gabriel Sanctuary is the importance of Philippine native trees. We believe that Philippines belongs to the Filipinos, and kagaya din po ng mga halaman at puno po natin, ang itatanim po natin, ang bibigyan po nating importansya is yung mga Philippine native trees because yan po ang ating mga katuwang po sa buhay po natin simula pa po ng mga ancestors natin. So sobrang dami pong benepisyo na may bibigay ng mga Philippine native trees sa atin. I would suggest na pumunta po kayo sa mga local parks po natin or yung meron pong mga arboretum or meron pong conservation area malapit sa inyo and see the beauty of planting trees, the beauty of conservation. Ako sa aking murang edad po, dati hindi rin naman po ako interesado sa conservation. Kasi marami pa naman po akong pwedeng gawin na iba, di ba? Pwede naman ako maglaro na lang. Pwede naman ding maghanap na lang ako ng ibang kabuhayan na mas profitable. Pero ito nga pong conservation ito po yung sector ng ating lipunan na hindi nabibigyang pansin dahil kakaunti lamang po ang naglalakas loob dahil wala nga pong masyadong opportunity for the people in the conservation work. So it's really a niche na kailangan gusto mo, kailangan passionate ka sa ginagawa mo. And kung hindi naman maaari po yung to that extent, I would suggest na you contribute po, no? At meron nga po tayong batas dito sa Pilipinas that every able-bodied citizen is required to plant a tree at least once a year. So imagine, meron po tayong ganung batas na hindi yan ng mga tao. So start with that, no? Magtanim po kayo kahit saan if merong malapit sa inyo na area. Kahit isang puno lang sa isang taon. Very minimal investment. It would not take so much of your time. Once a year lang, sumali kayo sa mga tree planting projects, pumunta kayo sa mga conservation area katulad po ng Gabriel Sanctuary. So those are the most simple and practical ways of protecting our forest. And all of us, we have to use our voice for the voiceless, no? Hindi naman din nakakapagsalita si Sierra Madre. Pero ngayon in-AI na kaya nagkaroon ng boses na si Sierra Madre. Di ba? Sinasabi na, ako si Sierra Madre, maprotektahan kayo. Meron na pong ganun na AI, no? So, tayo po ang nagsisilbing boses ng mga hindi makapagsalita. Yung mga forest po natin, nasasaktan na po, umiiyak na po dahil pinapatay sila in plain sight, no? Meron mga bigger corporations po na may mas malaking interest po dyan sa ating mga natural resources. And we have to speak about it, no? We have to talk more about it. That's the beauty of social media, no? Binigyan po tayo ng opportunity na pag-usapan ang mga ganitong nangyayari sa lipunan in a more safe environment. So yun lamang po, and I hope you can visit us at Gabriel Sanctuary and see for yourself the beauty of environment.
In a time when the environment faces growing threats, places like Gabriel Sanctuary prove that business sustainability and social responsibility can go hand in hand. In caring for nature, we are ultimately caring for our future. Kudos to Levin Landingin and the team behind Gabriel Sanctuary for their passion and commitment to protecting the environment. Because the future we want begins with the actions we take today. This has been Rochelle Rubio. Join me again next Friday for another episode of The Advocates here on Capital 104.3.
This is where the voices of the voiceless are heard. The Advocates, Empowering Voices, hosted by Rochelle Rubio on 104.3 The Capital.